Okay, so this video is about bullying. I have seen so many videos and little snippets placed on Facebook and whatnot of people who've been bullied or feel they've been persecuted and they've had suicidal thoughts and this and that. Here's a little bit about my past. When I was younger, I've had a lot of different things happen to me. And when I was 13, we moved to Las Vegas. And we moved to one of the roughest, we moved to the downtown area. Which was, when my stepdad grew up there and lived in the same area. It was predominantly a white, pretty much Mormon neighborhood. When we lived there in the early to mid-90s, it was predominantly Mexican or Hispanic, Black, and Asian. And so I was one of few white kids at my junior high. And at the same time, my great-granddad died, which really, he was like my mentor, so I put on a lot of weight. And from that point, I was heavyset. I was one of those butterballs, a fat kid in junior high. I was bullied and picked on, and I had a lot of friends. And the funny thing is, a lot of my friends were Hispanic or Asian or Black, and I always seemed to have problems with the white kids because they felt they had something to prove. And so it's really easy to, be called titty boy and, Pillsbury and all this and that. Well, later on in life, I had a girlfriend who, being herself, I guess, slept with a lot of my friends. And after a while, you start to hear them mock you and talk about you, not directly to your face, but loud enough to where you can hear these things. And you get that deep sense of depression and like, why? Why me? Why are these things happening to me? And the thing is, they happen to you. They help create you. They help make you stronger. But when you inflict pain on yourself or you choose suicide, you're choosing to give up. And, if you're going to give up, sometimes giving up is easier for everybody else than having to baby the person who feels they're bullied. Because that takes everybody who feels like they're bullied. It takes so much community support and, building relationships and supporting these people. And if you don't know they're being bullied, it's that much harder to identify. But the thing is, if you're being bullied and you can't handle it, the people who care about you, they're going to invest their time and energy trying to help you through that. And that could adversely impact their lives. So at this point, not only has bullying, hindered this one individual and made them feel a certain way where they feel like they have no value to add to the world, or they're never going to do nothing with their life, or maybe they're young and they never thought they'd live long enough to have kids, or whatever. The thing is, when you're entrenched and you're bullied and you're depressed like that, when you start to become less productive or productive at all, and others are trying to help you, but you're still stuck in that same mode, you're draining the energies and the resources of those who care about you, and you hold them back. So, big thing, I've been hit by a car, and 2 weeks later, I was in jail for something that wasn't even mine. So, I know what it's like to get screwed over royally and have it affect your whole life. I mean, affect your whole life. All the upward mobility and potential that you could have but you've got these things that have held you back. When my wife and I bought our first house, I didn't know 10 years later that I had medical debt because shortly after being hit by a car while walking, I was homeless. So I know what it's like to be homeless. The thing is, with bullying and depression, if you can't work through it, then it's a tough thing to say. But if you are unwilling or unable to work through it, then isolation might be the best thing for you, because all you're going to do is you're going to drain the resources and energies of those who try to care or want to care, and then it could adversely affect them. And then it just makes things worse. It doesn't make them better. Try and be strong. Try and find courage, inner courage, and try and work through your issues. And later on in life, it won't define you, but it will help mold who you are and shape how productive you can be. Because a lot of times the people who've been through the worst of it oftentimes are the ones who work hard for it and are the most productive. So those are my thoughts on that. Later.